sir. Would you mind stating your name?
All right. My name is Ryan Russell. I've been a longtime friend of Dylan for quite a while now, probably about, I don't know, 10 or plus years, since about fifth grade.
Awesome. Would you mind telling me how Dylan got into soccer? Because I know you specifically that you know.
Yeah. So, one thing about Dylan in soccer is strictly correlates back to me, honestly. Back in fifth grade, I played soccer since I was pretty young, and ever since Dylan started watching me play it, I think, he's been naturally good at every sport he's done, so he just picked up on this one just as quick, surpassing me fairly easily. Making varsity his sophomore year of high school. That's a big thing. Uh, I don't know. I don't
Um, all
drop that
the
last part.
all the achievements you've seen him do, or yeah, like, do throughout the years that you've known him. Soccer and non-soccer, I guess it would be relevant. What How do you see this opportunity he has in March? Um, as opposed to all the things that he's done, do you think it's a shot in the dark, or do you think it's kind of a relevant situation and like he belongs there and like he should be going to Turkey and like competing, fighting for a spot?
I definitely think that Dylan deserves this more than anybody that I've ever known. Ever since I've known him, he's always worked hard for everything he's ever got. He's never had anything ever handed to him. So, out of all his achievements in life, I think this is probably by far his greatest. Going to California was probably one of his biggest dreams come true. And then after finding out his results and getting offered a chance to go to Turkey to go try out and get scouted is probably one of the biggest admirations he's ever had. So, more power
Okay.
to him to go achieve that.
What You see him clearly on the field a lot, but yeah, I know you see him off the field as well. What do you think motivates him? Not necessarily the most, just what do you think motivates him to play harder and stronger and just want to continue to get better?
I think that the love and the sport of his family is definitely a big thing in Dill's life. I think everybody, all the support that he's ever had, has helped to encourage him to push himself even more. There's not been a time that he's never had support. So ever since family and friends have been there for him, it's just a good way to push him to what he's going to he's become today. So
There a lot of people go through a lot of things in their life. You being one of them, obviously. What people go through tragedies. There's been quite a few in the past recent years for everybody. Um, for himself, his family, and a lot of his friends, to be honest. How do you think that plays a factor in anything? You think it kind of brings him down, brings him up, kind of just puts it on hold? How do you think he deals with that?
I think like a lot of big athletes nowadays, the loss of someone important to them, or even a tragic event in their life, has even helped them to push them further or harder or anything. And Dylan being one of the guys that I've grown up with, we've endured a lot together. And the loss of my mom, his second mom, it's been rough. The loss of his brother, all the above. I mean, it's not easy. And I think how Dylan like recovers and recuperates from all these tragedies is by working hard and putting putting everything into whatever he does. So that's also a big factor in it. My mom loved to watch Dylan play. I know that he loves to think about that. I'm sure that helps him in however he does his soccer. But yeah.
Um, Before I ask any other questions, if I think of any other, what is there anything you would like to say just freely?
Just about you and your endeavors in soccer. Let's see. Think about that one.
If you don't have anything, it's all right.
I definitely could think of some things. I'm sure. Just growing up, man. I don't know. We used to see a lot of each other. I mean, we still do. We see each other quite often, and I mean, but it's understandable because of all these things that are going on in our lives right now. Like you taking soccer and making that your life right now is you can't be upset about that because you're focusing your life like 95% on soccer, 4% on work. Trying to make that money to pursue your dreams. So you can't be upset about that. It's just sometimes your life gets busy, and how you roll with that is how you roll with that. So definitely no hard feelings there. And no matter what, I'll always have your back, man. Money, fighting, it's just what it is. I got your back.
Last question. When it comes down to it, when it's March and what when he feels most ready mentally, physically, and just any way that you can possibly prepare yourself for any type of situation like that, fill in the blanks, please do. But do you think it'll be more of a learning experience or just kind of like a just like another tournament and training session? Like, well, how do you think it'll go?
I I don't think anything, man. I know it's gonna go great. I mean, all the time you put into it is a small consolation of the prize that you're gonna get out of it. So how it's gonna end up, I mean, you're easily in shape. You have all like the physical qualities that you need, and I think preparing yourself mentally is how you're gonna like go about receiving any sort of offer from any of these scouts. So preparing yourself mentally, I think, is probably is going to be one of the biggest things that you do because training's training. I mean, and you've gone a long way. Your skill has increased by far greater than I've ever seen you in the past few years. Uh, I think as you go about your turkey trip and all that, and on that combine, I guarantee you're going to do well, man. And there's no argument against that. Like everybody knows it. It's just all the time you put into it. I if anything, man, it will be a good learning lesson. Just because the only people you've ever played against in this world is United States people, and unfortunately, United States soccer isn't the greatest. So it's not the worst, but it's not the greatest. So I think going to Turkey, even if you don't get an offer or whatever, I don't think it's going to deter you from like any other option in your life. So if anything, it's going to make you more known, more available. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how that's going to go. I already know, man. Everybody knows. You're prepared more than anybody.
Or man, I think that's it, brother. Thanks, Doc.